Hi and welcome back. I'm real excited to take you on the interior tour of this motor coach. As I'd mentioned in some earlier videos, we've developed a line of IWS Signature Series coaches, and this one here is the twin to my personal coach as far as the floor plan goes and the chassis and the amenities in it. We've really been working hard to develop our own Signature Series line of coaches that really embodies the very best of everything that we know how to do. And I hope you're as excited about this coach as I am as we go through the tour. As we enter the coach, you'll notice that on this particular coach we use bed liner on the entryway, and it also includes the Renegade boot step here. You can see we put some shoes underneath the first step. By spraying the bed liner on it, it gives it a lot of traction. It's real easy to sweep out or hose out. There's also LED lights to illuminate the step well, as you can see here. When you do order a coach from us, we can do bed liner or tile or rubber entryway. Now as we enter the coach and pan the camera around, you can see the colors just really came together on this coach. I can't say enough good about it. Everybody that's looked at this coach has just absolutely fell in love with it. We're going to start with the overhead compartments that are over the sofa bed here. And one of the things that you'll notice on this coach is that we didn't continue the cabinets all the way across. We just put them over the sofa bed, and I'll show you why here in a minute. As you can see, we've used Flexsteel sofa. It has 3 sets of seat belts in it, so you can bring guests with you. It also folds out into a full air mattress on it. We also straightened the counter out on it so that there was a lot more room to get in and out of the coach when the bed's folded out. Now as we move over to the Flexsteel Dinette, we're going to walk you through this and talk a little bit about it. First thing we're going to do is slide the drawers out so you can see the extra storage that's underneath each seat cushion. Some of the things that's really hard to point out is if you'll notice under the counter or the dinette table there's no leg support in the middle, which is really nice when you're climbing in and out. Your feet aren't tripping over the post. Renegade's done a phenomenal job of making a big steel structure to mount the table, so when you go to pull yourself up from the table, you can just grab it and kind of pull yourself up. It doesn't wiggle or move around. You also notice they have a built-in drink holder on the cabinet. And then if you look up, you'll see that we didn't install cabinets over that window, and the reason we did that is we were able to put a taller window in to make it more of a picture window. It really helps with opening up and letting some light into the coach. Now we're going to go ahead and run all the interior lights through their phases so you can see the different levels of lighting elements inside of the coach. It was really bright outside, so we had to pull the shades down for the video purposes. Now we're going to move back and talk a little bit about the recliner, and we're really proud of this feature that we designed into our Signature Series floor plan. Here you can see we have a swivel rocker recliner in the corner. It's really nice to have a spot in the evening to be able to lay back and enjoy a movie. And also notice the little shelf that we installed right here, and it's a great place to have an outlet to plug in your cell phone or the TV remote or set your drink. There's also a light switch there. There's lights underneath the cabinets that are overhead so that you have great reading lights in the evening. These cabinets are a perfect place to store extra DVDs or things that you kind of want to keep high and up and out of the way. Now as we move over, we're going to talk about the kitchen area of this coach, and there's lots and lots of storage in it, as you can see here above the residential refrigerator. This is a Samsung refrigerator. It's a 18 cubic foot residential. Here's the locking feature on it so you can lock the doors when you're traveling down the road. As you can see inside, there's lots of space and lots of storage. It's a fantastic refrigerator and freezer combination. Now we move down into the freezer section. You can see there's an ice maker in the slide out tray. Just can't say enough good about this refrigerator and what it brings to the coach. Now as we move over into the counter area and the cabinets, I want to slide all the drawers out so you can see them. And as I mentioned before, with all of the Renegade classics, the drawers all feature dovetail construction and self-closing drawers. The cabinet work in these is just absolutely second to none. We started moving away from the gas cooktop and moving more into the induction style. And the reason we're doing that on our Signature Series coaches is we really think that it frees up a lot more counter space rather than having a gas grill there. It's one more step towards going all electric on the coaches, and I just think it's the more and more we're using them, the true induction is really just a fantastic way to cook, and I think it really enhances the interior look of the coach as well. Now as we move up into the microwave, and the reason we want to talk about it is it's a microwave convection oven, and as we've started using our coach more and more, we really just kind of fell in love with the convection oven. In fact, we've even installed them into our house because we liked it so much. I do want to point out this is a full-size residential microwave, and there's also a vent underneath it that vents from the cooktop to the outside of the coach, which is a really nice added feature. Now as we move along the countertop, notice the beautiful backsplash, the two 110 outlets we've installed in the countertop so that you have a spot for a toaster and a coffee pot. We've also installed a double sink in the kitchen area, and these are full-size residential sinks with a pull-out sprayer nozzle. Just fantastic. Every woman that ever climbs in this coach just goes wow when they look at the kitchen area. Now as we move over to the TV, you can see we've mounted the TV on a swing out post over the top of the entry door. I do want to pause here just for a second and really point out how hard we're working at making these coaches very usable. As you can see here, you can hang your coats. If your coat's wet over the entry door, the water's going to drip down right down onto the bed liner on the entryway. We really tried to make this thing useful, you know, so if you come in wet, you can just hang your gear up right there. Here's a shot of the step well cover if you want to cover the step well. Now as we move up into the switches at the beginning of the entryway, this first switch is for the ceiling fan. These switches operate the Carefree powered awning. And then these switches here operate the interior lights. And I do want to point out that at IWS we label all the switches for you, and we're really trying to make these things very user friendly. Now as we look at the overhead cabinets, I want to point out a few things. We've been installing our IWS gaming package, and in this compartment we've run RCA jacks and HDMI connections and an extra 110 power, just in the case that you want to add an Xbox or a Wii or a PlayStation. It's going to be all connected for you. Another thing to point out in this cabinet is notice the air conditioning duct in the top. But at IWS we even went a step further, and we've started having Renegade install wire mesh in front of it. And what our hopes are is that the air circulation is really going to be cold air coming in and then pushing the hot air out through the mesh screen in the front of it rather than glass. We really think it's going to help the electronics last a lot longer. Now as we move into the overhead compartments, it's pretty standard feature for our custom coach. We install the air conditioning controls, the generator controls, and the coach controls all in the overhead cabinet, so they're really easy to reach. You can just open up the double doors, stand right there flat-footed, and look at them at eye level. Now as we move over into the passenger side, you can see the stereo components and the Blu-ray player. And again, this has an air conditioning duct in it, and we've included the wire mesh screens on it to help remove the heat. I just really think it's the right thing to do for these coaches. Now we're going to move up into the cockpit of this beautiful Cascadia 113 chassis. As you can see when we go through with the video, there's a wide range of gauges and switches that'll keep the driver very informed as you're cruising down the road of all the vital signs of the coach. You can also see here the steering wheel tilts and telescope. Right above the driver's compartment, you're going to see Renegade's installed the automatic jack leveling system. You'll also notice the speakers there, and that's a IWS installed item. On all of our IWS Signature Series lines of coaches, we're upgrading the stereo system as well as the stereo itself. We've gone to a larger digital screen on them. We've installed amplifiers, upgraded speakers, and really worked on improving the quality of the sound in these coaches. We're going to pause right here for just a second so you can take a look at all of the switches here. You have your 3-stage engine brake, automatic traction control, your menu controls, heated mirrors, utility lamps. There's an awful lot to go through, and it would take quite a bit of time in this video. So just rest assured that when you come here to test drive a coach, we'll spend all the time you want going through all of these switches and gauges. It seems kind of complicated, but it's really intuitive when you get here. As you can see, the coach is equipped with an Allison transmission, and this is is the 4000 series transmission, so it's the top end of the Allison automatics. It's a 6-speed automatic with push button controls. It's very easy to operate. It's just a fantastic transmission. I also want to draw your attention to the right where you can see the limited slip traction control, and then there's also air ride lowering valves so you can raise and lower the back of the coach. Now we're going to move over to the passenger compartment and talk a little bit about it so you can have an overview of what it's like to be a passenger. As you can see, we've used the top of the line Flexsteel air ride seats with adjustable armrest in the coach. Absolutely the lap of luxury when you sit down in these seats. There's a nice storage compartment in front of the passenger seat. There's speakers in the door. They're very easy to get in and out of. Just a phenomenal experience driving one of these coaches. Now we're going to go ahead and move towards the back of the coach, and we're going to stop here in the bathroom to try to give you an overview of what this beautiful bathroom looks like. As you can see, all the wood is handcrafted and stained. It has lots of LED lighting in it, so it's very easy to see. We've actually increased the width of the vanity on this coach to give you a little more room. We've installed the vessel bowl in it. It really has that look of elegance in it, and it's very usable as well. By using the vessel bowl, you get a lot more room underneath it on the counter space. You see we have slide out drawers in the vanity, trash can storage underneath. Now as we move over to the linen closet, there's several choices that we can go through here. One is, as we did in this coach, we have an all-in-one washer dryer combo in the bottom. You can also include a stacked washer and dryer. We could put a dryer on top if you wanted. But in this coach, we really were trying to go for more storage space. So that's why we chose the all-in-one washer and dryer and then the storage above it for your linens. Now we're going to move over to the private toilet room and do our best to give you a nice video shot of the inside of this. And it's really hard in the video to show you how much room there is in there and just how well built the bathroom is. As you can see, there's bin storage over the top of the toilet. Lots of lighting. That's a big thing that we're really pushing for in all of our coaches, is to have adequate lighting in them. You can really see the wainscoting, how it comes down, and it just really adds such a look of elegance in these coaches. You can also see to the left of the toilet, there's a heating duct there. There's AC ducts in the ceiling. We've installed the macerator toilet system in this. A nice, beautiful corner vanity in it. It's really nice having this second vanity and sink, as well as overhead storage cabinet, so that if you have guests or passengers, or just a place for you and your wife or you and your husband to separate from each other a little bit, you can have his and hers vanities and sinks. I think it really came together very well in this floor plan. Now as we continue to make our tour of the bathroom, we're going to walk you through the full-size shower. And it's hard to see in the video, but you know, the ceiling in this coach is a little over 7 foot tall on the inside. So there's lots of room in there to shower. It has a built-in seat. A lot of the ladies really like that. It's just a fantastic, well-executed bathroom. Now as we move around into the bedroom on this coach, you can see we really tried hard to bring everything together that we know how to do. And you can see we've installed the mini king bed, or the Olympic Queen as it's called. We've also installed overhead storage compartments, lots of reading lights in it, wall sconces. Also installed nightstands on each side of the bed. There's also a little cubby hole down in there so you can keep a book there, or a pistol, or whatever it is you may want to keep. We've also installed 110 outlets on each side of the bed so you can each charge your cell phone. There's also a generator start button on one side so you can start the generator while laying in bed if you choose to. As we move over to the wardrobe slide, this is something that we've designed exclusively with Renegade. This is a IWS designed item. We worked really hard on listening to our customers and trying to build the absolute best wardrobe closet we could and maximizing the space. As you can see, I think it came together really, really nice. As we move around to the other side of the bedroom, I want to point out the padded walls. And in this coach, we used a color called Quicksilver, and as you can see, it's not even silver. It's just kind of a really light grayish tan. I think it really came together real well. You can also see the overhead ceiling fan that we've installed into the bedroom. We've also done that in the living quarters as well to help kind of keep the air circulating and just give a real nice feeling and a sense of home inside of this coach. We're going to finish up the tour with just giving you a nice pan around the inside of the coach, and I really hope the video comes across as good as this coach does in person. It's absolutely a breathtaking motorhome. I really want to thank you for spending some time with us today and invite you to come by for a test drive. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks again.